into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Reign. That is the theme song. That is the song that we all love.
Hey-oh!
So much.
I love it. Hey-oh!
Keetin, you owe the fans a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I do. I have to apologize to everyone. I'm very, very sorry that my attendance these past couple weeks have been lacking. I had some family things that were going on, as well as some trips that were going on, and then I got a new job, and things have just been really, really crazy. But I'm very much looking forward to next fall and the premiere of the next season of Reign, and to be here every week. Yay!
Yes.
I know Fania sends her love too, because she has wished she could be here this entire season. But again, I do apologize.
Keetin, stop hogging the mic.
No, I'm
JB
just,
Zimmerman,
I'm so
ladies and
happy to
gentlemen.
be here.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, JB Zimmerman.
I too am sorry I missed last week's recap of the finale.
To be fair, you were coming. It's just that Keetin couldn't
was.
make it, and I wasn't here. Therefore, you couldn't do it.
It's always
Exactly.
my fault,
Exactly.
guys.
It is. I mean, story
Always
of,
the woman's
of Phil
fault,
and I's
right?
life, right? At least.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There have been plenty of times when you guys haven't.
if we're all over the board, it's because there is an agenda to the show. There's not really too much of an agenda to the show. We're just here to talk season 2 of Reign here on AfterBuzz TV. You guys have followed us this entire season, if not since season 1, and so we want to kind of give back. Give a couple of fan shout-outs. Talk about, we've missed a couple of cast corners, so we're going to catch up on that.
Oh, we have some castle corners for you today.
I'm sporting the Reign shirt that was given to us.
Nice.
I do want to say a shout out to all of our fans that do follow us. You guys are so awesome, and you're the ones who make it so hard for me to miss this after show when I do it. Screw these guys. I'm here for you guys, and I'm so sorry I have been out, but thank you so much for all your support and love and conversation. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
And gifts.
Keetin
I love
vomits
the
every
gifts.
time she is about to do a show with me because she's like, ew, I have to be in a room with you.
No,
But for you guys, she sucks it up.
She does.
I
She
love
takes
my
one for the
royal
team.
bros. I love you guys.
Well,
Royal Bros.
Yes.
exactly.
I'm the royal bro. I'm the royal,
Royal
ho.
Ho. Hey, they came
You could
into
be-
play.
you could be Royal Ho.
They came into play. Now,
Hey, you
speaking of
gotta
that,
love the
They
royal
did.
host.
before we get into the agenda of season 2, obviously you guys owe the fans a season 2 finale kind of analysis. So, let's spend some time there. Who wants to go first?
JB, you go first.
Crazy. Like, stuff went down.
And it wasn't a war. It wasn't a war. I said it was. I was excited for a war. It didn't happen that way, but I loved it.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, it wasn't like a huge gladiator scene, but at the same time, like, it was that epic in terms of the things that happened within the characters. Mary Shanks Conde, like,
What the hell,
did
Mary?
not see that coming. Support it though. I'm back on board with Mary. Like, I mean, the last half of this season, I've really fallen off Team Mary. Like, she is just
we all did.
She's not been impressing me at all. Like, with
been the
everything.
worst.
Exactly.
Hashtag the worst.
So to see her finally do something that was like for the greater good, like a very regal queen move, was nice for a change. Like, like she should have done that from the get-go. I mean, she shouldn't have gotten to this point, but it was at least, better late than never. She definitely pulled a fast one. I mean, she kind of went back to her old Mary of like having a super plan. Yes, it did work. Obviously, she didn't tell anybody about that, so we can get into that later. But yeah, I think she just kind of carried it on her back, and she was like,
curious.
you know what, we got to set things right.
Keetin,
And she finally did.
I'm curious from a female perspective, because I think it's owed to the fans, a female perspective on Mary in the past couple episodes leading up to this decision.
I have been you know, and I don't know if I should be frustrated with Mary or the writers or whatever, but I just felt like Mary was such a strong character for so long for us, and we saw her, you know, mid-season go through this huge tragic event in her life, and you know how it broke her down, and then trying to see her build herself back up, and while building herself up, making a lot of decisions that I don't think were the smartest decisions for her at the time. They were good for her, but I think she couldn't be a queen. And because
she in love with Conde?
Yes, I absolutely think she was in love with Conde, and I think she was blinded by love, and she was blinded by the safety that he made her feel because she wasn't getting that from Francis. And it was time after time that Conde screwed her over.
Not because Francis wasn't giving it though.
And I agree with you. I agree with you.
Here's what I want to know. What was Francis missing? I mean, if we had a checkbox of all the things that Francis is and was,
I know, but sometimes you can't help the way you're feeling. Like as much as Mary might have wanted things to be okay with Francis, she couldn't help how that tragedy affected her relationship with him and her feelings towards him and her feelings in general around men. And so for her to be able to latch on to at least somebody who was supporting her, but then Conde started doing stupid things and things that Mary, the old Mary, would have like light bulb in her head and would have not put up with that crap, but she kept forgiving him and kept dealing with it and kept digging herself deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole where I was so frustrated with her as a character, but I thought it was so redeeming of her in this final episode to see Mary, you know, call her ladies. All of them kind of made plans to get, well, mainly it was Greer, but get shit done. And they did. And she took a huge risk, and I know that was very, very hard for her to do what she did to Conde, but she did it, and she was able to not only save herself, but technically France, if you think about it, because they were kind of SOL. So go Mary. I was very happy with how this episode. It was it was a very gratifying episode for somebody who was such a big fan of Mary and has been angry at her. But I also love seeing Catherine, she's back. The crazy Catherine is back, and I love it.
Yeah, no, this complicates many things. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just speaking to all of that. A shout out to one of our comments from Glitter Bubbles.
Great name, Glitter Bubbles.
Nailed it.
Glitter love Bubbles. It. Hashtag Glitter Bubbles. Every day of my life.
They said, all around great episode. The old Mary is back. Yes. The old Catherine is back. No.
The Catherine is
exactly how I feel. I mean, it's kind of a yes, no. Like, yes, it's so entertaining to watch the old Catherine, like, stir up the pot. But I just love to hate her, you know.
And by the way, we're all it seems the fans and us are in agreement that Catherine brought about the Stefan thing, and we're very much pro Narcisse, not Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan. I was like, even when Lola calls him Stefan, I'm like, that's not his name. Don't you call him Stefan? That sounds weird. He's Narcisse. Narcisse just sounds like a snake, and that's what he is. So that's.
But he's a good snake.
I know it's been really cool to see what they've done with Narcisse's character. I have not been able to guess where they're going with him this entire season, and I love it. I love when writers can do that with a character.
What did you guys think when he says like I thought the hatred of Catherine de Medici was the worst thing ever, but her love is actually worse.
Because her love is like so overbearing. I think it's the perfect way to describe her. Like when she is like loves something so much, she will do anything if anybody ever messes with that, and she doesn't want to lose it because obviously we saw what she lost the whole Henry thing. So I understand why Catherine is the way she is, and I think Narcisse summed it up in that comment.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that was a really good line because, you know, she's all about herself, like herself, you know, her kids, her family. That is all she cares about. And so, like, yes, she'll get rid of her enemies to protect that, but at the same time, like, she's not going to hurt herself or her family to do so. So that's where that ends. Like, it is a priority scale. And so if she brings you in, it's like there is no bounds to what she will do to keep you.
But what is the limit? Because tonight we really test the limit so much so that her own son exiles her by her taking this risk with Lola and the child. Which I didn't know his name before, but now we're giving him a name.
That's exactly my point is, she did that thing, like, because she thought it was for the greater good. She's just going to kidnap.
Delusional.
Exactly. Like, because it's someone she does love, she's literally going bananas trying to do what she thinks is the best thing.
It's the only way to save them.
As far as going to Elizabeth to, like, set some secret coup up to kill Mary. Like, the woman is psychotic.
Really, Catherine?
She's a sociopath.
Really? Although I'm so excited. Like,
it's good TV for sure.
And we just saw a glimpse of Elizabeth, and I love the actress that plays her. I think it's a much more feminine portrayal of Elizabeth. You usually don't see her looking that, I feel like, beautiful and glam. I mean, Elizabeth is always super glam, but like it's a much younger portrayal of her, which is cool. But I just love the sass. The sass that was in her face, and we just saw that one shot of her and that one interaction with Catherine, and I cannot wait to see what she does next season.
It was very much a dun dun dun.
Right. Dun dun dun. Yeah. But you gotta love a finale that's a dun dun dun, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's gotta bring you back next year.
I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I think Phil and I were, while Keetin was away over the many weeks, we discussed over many moons how I wanted at least a bigger story, like with more characters involving England, involving Elizabeth. So I really hope that it looks like that is going to be the focus of the new season 3. So
Can I say
I'm
something?
excited. And she's a ginger too, perfect enemy.
You've used
to
up
have.
your words for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
I have so many words I get to use up because I've missed a couple of weeks. So
You have like
I
a
just want to
whole
talk
bank.
about how we have been thinking this entire time that Francis would be dead by the final episode.
You mean you have been thinking this?
You guys have agreed with me.
I don't believe that's
But
true.
he's still alive.
I
But
guess
he's dying.
I guess Conde would be the one dead.
Neither of them are dead.
I mean, he was close. I thought when he like passed out after she stabbed him. I was like, well, he's done.
Let's kind of get into Conde with him. Where is he? He just kind of he escapes.
Yeah, he was in the thing, and then he's.
And I don't understand how it was so difficult for him to leave anytime before or escape anytime before. But now he can, injured, very close to death and injured. He can ride away, and nobody's going to catch him.
He's like just. Yeah, that was strange. That was kind of like we should still keep him because we.
Well, he's a great character.
Yeah, fans like him.
He's great.
I mean,
is he a threat? I mean, because now that he's kind of supposedly out of the picture to a lesser extent, and we're gonna deal with England now.
Oh, he's a threat.
Yeah.
Oh, he's absolutely a threat. Him and his brother are huge threats. I think his brother's closer, so he'll probably go back to his brother. But then eventually you're gonna see him talking to Elizabeth just like Catherine de Medici was.
Would you think that Conde will ever be with Elizabeth?
Maybe
not
be her toy thing, but like she's over it.
She doesn't need him in the fact that he failed, and she's got Catherine. It suffices for what she needs.
Right.
So Conde is old news. He's a chess piece now.
He is. He was just used and abused
by everybody.
Well, he was making really stupid decisions too. So
I mean,
when there's so many people making dumb decisions, he should have just bailed the first time. And he tried to do he just mistake after mistake after mistake, and it was just digging his hole deeper. And then I don't know, but I believed Mary. I did believe Mary was pregnant. Like that was really mean.
I think we were all very upset. We were all very upset of like, Mary, really? Man. Oh my God, you got to do this one more time. And then when she did it, because this happened within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Boom.
Shake.
War over.
Well, no, see, that's where, like I gave Kenna the benefit of the doubt and have been,
Kenna.
How have you guys?
And
felt
sort of
about
that's where
Kenna?
I flipped. I was like, okay, Mary, you're in. Kenna, you're out. Like, yeah, sorry, but you can't pull one over on a man Bash like that.
Right?
He's a royal bro. Like that's not happening. Not happening.
Isn't it? It's one thing. Had it happen, which obviously it did, but it's a whole nother. Women, do not seduce your man to pretend to get pregnant because you're pregnant with somebody else's child. That is evil and wicked, Keetin. That stuff ends up on Maury. Wait till next season 3, Maury in court.
I do have to say that was very messed up, kind of. But I'm very excited to see where her story is gonna go now that she's out.
Now that she's seducing like
a 13-year-old
like King Joffrey over here.
I know.
Like,
I think he's more like Tommen.
He's probably like Tommen. He
seems
seems
nice. When you get your pubes, kid. But
Wow!
What? Not me. I'm
Well,
just saying
exactly. It's like it's so. It was so unbelievably low for Kenna to do that. Like maybe they could have figured something out.
But Mary set it up.
Well, no, that's no, like the
relationship,
thing, the bash thing. Like that is just like have some respect. Like he never did anything wrong really, other than like his job. I mean, granted, like they could have talked about that. But
Bash was getting a little.
He was distant. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
He was distant, but you know, like they could have worked to fix that. He was definitely trying to. We saw episodes where he was like dancing, something he definitely didn't want to do.
They were just one person was always a step ahead or step behind the other. It just time, like literally. Had they like not seen matter of 24 hours could have realigned them and the sense of the information that they had, and it just never worked out.
And now Bash has been seduced and claimed by this crazy pagan princess.
I know, yeah.
She's scary.
Who already cheated on him and was like,
and killed
totally
a guy.
Slept with this guy. Whoops. Don't know how all this like Satan pagan stuff.
So
like,
the ET moment, how does what does that mean for these two characters? You know, she's getting burned. He feels it, and she runs away.
I can't believe she got out of the thing.
That was scary. I like kind of screamed a little bit.
She's creepy. She is creepy.
She's like a whole nother level, of creepy.
She's like a stage 5 kook. It's like a problem.
stage 5 kook.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Although the sex must be amazing.
Well, that was weird. That like that.
I mean, if she can summon him like into someone else, like. God knows what she can do if it's actually you.
I just wish we could cut to Steven right now.
Steven knows.
So, like,
he knows
what the hell are these people talking about? I don't know. She's trouble. I feel like next season, not only are we going to be dealing with England, but we're going to be dealing with a lot more. I think the magical and mystical stuff is really going to come back into the Reign world because it's been gone kind of this season.
It has been. And a lot of it, you know, we do see glimpses of the mystical, and then they kind of bring it back and ground it in reality. So I'm interested how they kind of play this, because it seemed like you can't really. I mean, she like escaped a burning fire.
Well, Hostradamus
like, she was
is
literally
back.
on fire, and
Speaking of the imaginary, before we get any further, right? I want to. We love TV. You love TV. So, dear fans, I want to tell you guys about a new show on ABC coming out soon, right? So, before we get to the fall, that's right. Sorry. You ruined like the whole. It was like supposed to be a build-up. We were building to the title. It's The Whispers, people, on ABC.
You blew it.
You know. We were telling a story. It's forming a narrative.
You can still do it. Keep going.
Do you have imaginary friends? Because that's kind of cute, right? You must, Keetin.
No, because they scared me as a kid.
So you did though.
I had friends that had imaginary friends, and I don't deal with that stuff. I
well,
mean,
fair
you had friends that had them.
So what if they weren't imaginary, right? And that's what this whole thing is about. ABC's Whispers is all about an innocent child, much like Keetin still is to this day. But they play a dangerous game, where this game could threaten the entire human race.
Okay,
that's dangerous.
Can I tell you, these previews scared the crap out of me.
But in a good way, right? You're like intrigued, you want to know.
Because they're not giving me enough information, but I'm like, wait, what is this? Like, I just...
That's it. They're leaving you wanting more.
It's the hook. They're telling a great narrative, unlike you.
It is classic.
The Whispers, it really scares me, and the name, I think, is so awesome. So I'm very excited for this one, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch the first episode. If I get too scared, I can't watch it anymore. Like I don't do scary things, guys. I don't do scary things.
Here's the thing.
I cover my eyes for Reign.
don't think it's as scary as it is much more of a mystery. The FBI is involved. There's a child specialist kind of dealing with the whole problem. My favorite, Barry Sloane from Revenge, another ABC show. He's on it. He's kind of advising the president on he's never seen anything like this. There's a lot to the show. The trailer itself, I've watched it multiple times. I really like it. I know people that worked on the show. They highly recommend it in terms of what they're excited for in the summer. So Monday, June 1st on ABC at 10/9 Central. It comes out. So once again, series premiere of The Whispers on ABC. Monday, June 1st on ABC, 10/9 Central. Check it out, and we will have an after show here on AfterBuzz TV for it, so have no fear on that.
I'm excited. I mean, again, this is one of the shows. Summer is very kind of dead with TV unless you're a Big Brother fan, which I am. I'll watch that. But I'm very excited for a scripted show for this show because I just think the concept is just so random, but so intriguing because I'm why has nobody done this before?
It's a good hook.
It is
right?
a very good
in writing,
hook.
you call it a hook of what's your tagline, what's your thing, and I mean imaginary friends that are real. That's great hook.
Hooker for life. My Once fans, you know what I mean.
Another ABC show. See, ABC is just great.
I love Once Upon a Time.
All right, so let's kind of wrap up. Let's touch on some things that we didn't touch upon yet. We've talked about Francis to an extent, but we haven't really, in terms of his decision to exile Catherine, in terms of what he's done with Mary, we haven't really talked about that yet.
And he's dying.
He is dying, which, I mean, again, docuseries, not surprised about that as much as I am surprised to see that he had, a back and forth with Nostradamus this whole time. They just had secret meetings this whole time.
I mean,
what?
I thought he was gone. That's what I'm confused. I'm has Nostradamus been gone this whole time, or is he just getting back, or is he just been kind of in Francis's corner to kind of be his person? I don't know, to escape Catherine.
Yeah.
I hope that they explain that more early on next season.
It was great to have him back, but it was just dude, where have you been this whole time? It's been going down in court. So, you were nowhere to be seen.
He knew when to get the hell out.
But the problem is, right, much like with Bash and Kenna, a lot of times this information that they see, it sparks things into that being. And that's part of the problem with, fortune telling is, okay, would you have dropped the vase if I didn't say anything type of thing?
Right.
Okay, maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. Who's to say? That's what drives people crazy.
Yeah.
It's a circle.
It is. It's a weird circle. My aunt went to a fortune teller when I was very young, and she was told that her niece was going to be working in television in some way. My brother used to say, yeah, you'll be a janitor at a television station.
Are you the niece?
I am the niece. Yeah, I am the niece. I said my aunt. Hey, man, the fortune teller. I don't know what fortune teller she went
but
to.
You could be your sister or something.
It could be my sister who works with horses. So it could be, yeah. I'm the.
Talk in your mic. I know it's out of practice for you.
Bill's being really, really sassy, just like Elizabeth.
On behalf of the fans.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Here's the thing. I feel like I have to do my due diligence on behalf of the fans to shame you enough where it's
I'm never gonna miss an episode again.
There you go.
Can I ask you guys? Not only where Francis is now as a character, but as Team Royal Bros, how have you felt about Francis's arc, kind of, dealing with the Mary drama and how he's grown a lot as a character?
JB, I'll answer for you. You start, because if I get going, I'm gonna go off on a 20-minute rant.
Totally. No, I hear that. And I could be right there with you. I'm gonna dial it back a little bit because there's a lady present.
Excuse me. No, I don't want you to dial it back. I want to hear the honesty.
Had you been here, you would have gotten an earful.
I have no remorse there.
All the fans are gonna be like, "Stop bitching at Keetin and just talk about the show."
No, I thought Francis did basically everything he could possibly do, to make things right with his marriage, to make things right with France, to be a good king, and for him to just have this. I don't know how long he's known that he's dying, but it could have been a long time. It could have been since Nostradamus left, or earlier. Literally, we could.
And think about that in terms of him, whether or not he gives himself up. It's okay, does he have the knowledge that he is dying because if he is, and the fate of France is at hand, then okay, does he just give himself up willingly, knowing that he is going to die, and that for the betterment of Mary and in some ways, hopefully France, this works out.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that, Phil. But that's a huge if he's how long has he known he was dying? Because yes, why would you not just make sure Mary was going to be in a good place because Condé would have protected her? Who knows? But I think Elizabeth would have done. There was no way.
I mean, in a
Condé
way,
was
he
gonna...
was doing that. Like
That's what I'm saying.
He was setting Mary up to be happy. Like he was literally like, okay, have this affair under my roof. Just don't get caught because I can't protect you. Like that. Maybe that is why, or maybe that is a reason. Like that helped him come to that conclusion, or maybe he's found out more recently. Either way, like that is a unbelievable thing to go through, and for on top of everything else that he's dealing with, he's the king. He's got more on his plate than anyone else does. On top of the fact that he is struggling with this health issue.
Here's what I have to. Ready, Keetin?
I'm pleased.
And by the way, fans, I hope you realize this is a bonus episode. So you know what? If we go off tangent, allow it.
Yeah,
This is just
a bonus.
for
it's the
you,
special features.
It's special feature.
That's right. It's
The
what,
commentary. We should film a commentary of an episode of Reign. I think it'd be hilarious.
We should. I'd be down for that.
let's pick a
Just
more
submit it
lighter
for the-
episode.
Put
Not
it on the Blu-ray.
Okay. Ladies, you guys want the man of all men, the man who can do everything, the man who does everything for you, the man who's chivalrous, notorious, and all these things. And yet, here is Mary with that man, and she cannot.
She cannot.
It's just so frustrating. Like, he is there. This problem from the 17th century or 16th century or whatever century this is.
I think it's the 15th century.
15th century?
No, wait. Yes. 16th century. They're in the 1500s.
Okay,
Sorry.
so there you go. Has carried through the centuries and still lives to this day. And I hate it. And they've done a great show of reflecting that, but I hate it. So wise up, women.
No, seriously.
That's my PSA. I'm just kidding.
No, to that
serious.
point, it is frustrating because it's like, how can that not be good enough?
Again, this is you guys have to understand that Mary went through a super traumatic event. And sometimes you can't help the way you feel. Have you never heard the what Selena Gomez song, "The Heart Wants What It Wants"?
Okay, no, but here's the thing. Okay, so
It's not always the smartest decision, but she was just you
Here's what
can't
I'm
as a
tired of.
queen go with your feelings as they. But then Mary forgot about that and started following her feelings and making mistake after mistake after mistake as a ruler.
JB and I have established a couple of rules while you were gone. Number one, there is no ending a relationship if you see this person at court day in and day out, right? So
also, if you're married to this person, I'm pretty sure there's no ending the relationship without a divorce.
Probably an
There you go.
annulment as well for them.
now, to be fair, Mary's gone
Catholic.
through.
Yeah, I think it's too late. at this
Mary
point.
experimented with Bash, and then came back to Francis and said, "You are my one true love," right?
Yes.
And then she kind of has
Emphasis
this.
on one.
Yeah, and she does this thing with Condé, and then in kind of today's episode, she comes back to Francis. "You have always been my one true love." Really? He's always been the true love?
It
Can I-
sure didn't feel like it when you're banging this guy in the basement.
Can I going off of your tangent? Did anybody else feel like that was the most awkward sex scene? It was just too long.
Which
The
one?
sex
What?
scene between Francis and Mary.
No, it was just right.
I
I
mean,
thought it
it
was
was-
super it was just too long. I don't know. It was too long and it was a
Why
little
are you-
awkward.
Are you weirded out?
I'm not weirded out by it, but I was just saying I felt like the passion was lost and the impact of it was lost because they spent too much time on it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it's been
The Bash and Kenna scene.
been a long
Boom, get
time.
it.
I guess she basically raped him.
Yeah.
She set it up. She set that whole thing up. It was a charade from the get-go.
Phil wishes he was Bash in that moment.
I mean, she lured him in under false intentions.
Yeah, lady. You know what?
God,
I don't
it's
want to
just
get
like-
into it because here's the thing. But then JB and I get called sexist and all this other stuff, and I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
Let's not. This
which
is a
has
happy.
happened
This is a happy,
before.
fun bonus episode. What other characters should we talk about? Do you want to talk about Lola at all, or the baby, the prince? Is there
We
any?
kind of did. I mean, what
Yeah.
what else are you gonna say about him?
I don't know. What about Lola and Narcissa's relationship?
Love it.
Well, I'm a fan of Narcissa. I respect Lola a lot, so yeah. I'm
What
down with
about Greer and Laith?
Well,
I'm so
it's
sad
over,
they're
but
not
it's not
together anymore.
Please, they're gonna be back together next
Yeah.
week.
Well, I think Laith is
They've been off again.
Claude.
Again. They're one
Claude
of those.
wants some Laith.
Wait. Yeah, well, wait till Leith finds out that the whorehouse was of benefit to France.
Right. I mean, if I'm in support of Laith and Greer getting together at the end, but Laith has to have an awesome time until then.
Yeah, we gotta
Like,
hit
he's
the.
You
gotta
want
get
Laith to
some.
sow his wild oats?
I want. Well, no, we should have.
Greer
we
is
should
not
have-
a whore.
We should have mistress parties.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So Leith shouldn't be so upset.
She is the brothel owner.
And
She
I'm
is
not-
a
I'm not-
lady.
I'm not saying that she is. I'm saying that she chose her own life over a relationship with him. So
And saved
that's
France.
fine. Like, you
Thank
do you. He's got to do him.
I
So
just
I'm
love
saying.
Laith, and I really want him to be happy. And Greer.
Exactly.
I'm very happy Greer is independent, and like I get it, and I wish Laith was more supportive of it.
Where do you guys stand on Claude? Because Claude did kind
How?
of
I
come.
mean, you're gonna raise a baby in the.
No, that you
brothel?
have another
Sorry.
house. You buy another house with
Yeah,
the money.
you leave
But yeah,
work at
where's,
work. and-
Where's mommy going?
to
Mommy's
work.
going to work.
Where's
Who's
Daddy
da-
going?
who-
To work. They're all going to
Exactly.
work. Get a nanny.
I don't know. I don't support it.
Well,
Lola can take.
ladies, if you are a brothel owner, lady of the night, you're not interested?
I didn't say that. I said I.
Just
I
not
don't,
for your,
I don't
not
know
for the mother
if
of your
that-
child.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know
Okay.
if the lifestyle can continue.
Okay.
And
Claude, I want to talk about Claude. Where do you guys stand on Claude? Because this is a character that kind of just came in, took over to an extent, and has stayed ever since. And she's grown on me.
She's growing on me too. This episode, I don't know. I mean,
She's like the rich
Some-
kid of the France castle.
yeah, rich kids of Beverly Hills. That's what. Sometimes I'm just like, you're so annoying and you're so pointless, and you're only bitchy because to be a bitch, and you're only royal because you're a royal. She just annoys me a lot. But like,
But it's reflective
she's
of
fun.
society.
I guess, yeah. She can be fun sometimes, and I like to see her grow. I like to see her becoming self-aware and realizing like maybe some of the decisions that she's making and the actions that she's doing are wrong.
just care about someone other than herself,
Yes.
which is like Laith.
Yeah.
Like that's why I support a little Laith fling.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's move into kind of more overall season type stuff. Let's start. Let's do a roundtable thing. Let's do. We'll do top 3 moments for each.
Ooh.
We'll go once around, then we'll come back
Of the
around.
season?
And,
I like
of the
it.
season.
I like it.
Who
Let's
wants?
do it.
Who wants? You want to start first?
I'll start. Let's see. One of my top moments of this season was when we got King Henry back for a little bit.
Okay. we can
Because
accept that.
he is
It
my
would be.
favorite.
It would
He's
be.
my favorite Delph, and yeah, I was very happy to see him back, and I wish he could always come back as a ghost.
Okay.
But he has a new job on a new show.
Okay. Go ahead, JB.
I really liked when when it just came crumbling down for Narcisse. I mean, up until that, I love the dude now, but like up until then, he was just the sworn enemy. So to see everything just in like a fiery blaze at the barn, like go down for him was just, it was awesome.
There you
I'm
go.
yelling timber.
My favorite, kind of, in terms of like emotion, things rising, getting really excited. I love the moment when Conde looks around and he sees like his followers. You know what I mean? Because
That was a good moment.
I can imagine myself, and like it just builds and builds, and it almost reminded me of the Dark Knight Rises when it's like, you know, they're all chanting and boom, like let's do this.
That was pretty, yeah.
That's a good moment.
No, I mean that's a good point. As much as I disagree with that, like him as like a character and being like an opposition to who I support, it's like if you were in that position, how could you not be like swooned by that whole ceremony? Like everyone that you've known pretty much is like chanting your name as the should be king. Like hello, like no one's gonna be like I'll pass.
Round 2, Keetin.
Round 2. I really loved the moment when Mary went through, like, after Mary was raped, when Catherine really came to her side as a supporter and, like, as a woman to tell her to use this to strengthen you.
If only Mary continued to listen to her.
Well,
it has to be said.
Yeah, you're very right on that point. But I think when Catherine and Mary work together, they're just these two great characters. I just love seeing scenes with them together. And I really, really liked that kind of pep talk she gave Mary right after she went through that huge tragedy to get Mary to kind of come up and held her head up high and move forward. Mm-hmm. So that was a good moment.
JB.
I have to put this out there. The mistress party for Francis. That's awesome. I can't even fight it. That's just
the what?
The mistress party.
The mistress party. Like let's get a mistress for Francis party. That is probably the coolest thing about being a king is that like happens and is totally legit. I support that. Totally.
I'm gonna try to pull an early season 1 type thing. Remember when we were first kind of dealing with the spies from England and whatever else, and people were posing to be the king, and the messengers of the king. They were doing these they were destroying villages.
Yeah.
I picked that moment because it is very very telling of the political times. It kind of got this thing started in terms of the threat of England. And it was just something different to see, so I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's back to me.
It is.
I gotta think. I really liked to see where Greer went. Kind of, she was always this character who did everything right, who was always trying to go by the book, she was always doing things for other people so that her dad wouldn't be angry, so she could help her family, all this stuff. And I really liked to see her go to her lowest of low points and then find a way by herself to fix that. She didn't have the support of all of her friends. She didn't really have Laith. She just kind of started figuring out how she could help these other, and she did it in a way, she helped herself by helping other women, even though, might not be the most honorable thing, but, career ever. So I just really enjoyed seeing her character kind of change and not be kind of so bland as she had been in the past. Yeah. And I think she's really kind of cool and sexy now and saucy, and I just wished Laith could handle her.
There you go. JB, final one for you.
A lot are running through my mind right now. Just to bring back, like, sort of, because the start of the roller coaster of this season, when Conde in that first scene pretty much admitted that he was a Protestant, even though he wasn't really like a diehard supporter, he kind of knew in that moment like that was the power move to be made and kind of the only one that would make this whole thing move forward. It was just such an intense, like, here's this new character blasting onto the scene, and he just kind of like bulldozed his way into the forefront, like becoming a main character that way. Like, it was such a cool, like, he's doing the right thing, and that's why when I started to root for him, obviously things have changed quite a bit since then. Yeah. But I was definitely on board. I was a fan when he stepped up in that way. It was pretty cool.
I loved the maid who pretended to be King Henry.
Ooh, nice.
Because for a number of reasons, we thought King Henry was kind of coming back in some sort of way, and obviously he did, just differently. But implications of that. And it brought Narcisse into it, that because Francis told the truth and Narcisse was right there. Now he's ready to blackmail him. So it really got the ball rolling of that subplot, and it utilized the tools that it had built of the superstition, the supernatural, into blackmail ultimately.
Yeah,
so I really enjoyed that.
Right. Yeah, actually, there's one more moment that you just reminded me of is when Bash had to run out and track down that one guy that wrote the letter. I think he tracked him down into a cabin and basically had to kill him. It was the first time that we actually saw Bash
have
totally
to make a moral decision.
Yeah, do something in the for him, maybe morally wrong, or debatable.
He made a Catherine choice.
It was a very Catherine choice. Even more so because Catherine would just poison someone from afar. He literally stabbed this guy to death.
Yeah, he had to.
For everything, for Francis, for the kingdom, for it was such a bigger than him moment. He is such a selfless person.
Yeah,
and hence why he's a bro.
There you go. So I want to shout out a couple of you guys that commented. I write down some of the ones that I liked in particular, but they're all good. Manday Pier writes, straight up Team Catherine. Will never be Team Mary. Awful character, bland at best, and mostly infuriating. Catherine.
I'm Team Catherine, but I don't hate Mary that much. I think she's had a rough go the second half of the season, and I'm glad to see where her character went by this last episode. But I will always love Catherine, and I love her. She's great.
Fair enough. Yeah. I appreciate her, Mandy Pierce, sticking to her guns.
Yeah, good for you.
Straight up Catherine.
That's right. Lonnie Westcott writes, anything with Bash is my faves. I loved all his interactions with everybody. I really want him to be reunited with Kenna. I would like to see the writers straighten Kenna out and make her a good wife to Bash. Me too. She has been good up until the last of this season and become an airhead. A general is going to be around more than Bash would. Really, Kenna? No! And just to sleaze around him, sleep with him, commit adultery with him. This is so wrong. Bash has been your true love, knight in shining armor, and in his hand-to-hand sword fight combat with your lover Renault, you called out his name to save him, so you must love him. Instead of looking for a boy king elsewhere, why can you not try to work your problem out with your husband? Humble yourself, otherwise he is hot water with
He's in hot water with Delphine.
To put it mildly, go save Bash for once.
I disagree with you. I think she was stupid not to just tell Bash straight up what happened about getting pregnant and stuff, but she had been trying, and Bash kind of was pushing her away.
Was she trying when she banged Renault?
No, but before that she was. It was what Phil said earlier tonight. It was they just were never at the right...
She was seducing Renault from stage one when she met him in the wilderness.
Liv Nat Perez.
She was about to run off with Antoine. Yeah. Before that, she's been a horrible wife.
Yeah, Ken needs to work on her domestic skills.
Borderline had 2 affairs this season alone. What? Come on.
Kenna, I feel like, God bless her, but she should go be with Greer. And
she's already pregnant with this other dude's...
Kenna's very sexually free.
She was in the very pilot episode. She was the one that was pleasuring herself when King Henry found her, and that was ooh, CW, what are you doing? She was.
That's what I'm saying.
She's a sexual being. Okay?
She's a 16th century girl living in the 15th century.
True story.
I think
story of everyone's life.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I'll let you in the 1560s here.
I'll let you read this one then.
I was happy when Francis and Mary...
Who said it?
I said Liv Nat Perez.
We couldn't hear you because we were talking.
Okay, well... LiveNat, thank you for commenting and watching. I was so happy when Francis and Mary finally got back together. I almost cried, but now Francis is dying. No, I knew he would die, and my prediction is that I think he will be dead at the end of season 3, and I'm not ready for that yet.
Well, at least it's not the end of season 2 because
Right.
that's what we were all thinking.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
that's a
It's
harsh
gonna be
timeline.
sad to see him go. It'll be really
Yeah,
sad. It's
I
gonna.
don't-
The
I
show
don't
will
want
completely
it. I do
change
not want
when
that.
he's gone.
Ricky Rar, hopefully I said it right. Writes,
Ricky
I love the
Ra.
finale.
Yeah.
Simple as
Dude,
that. That's great.
Straight up, I appreciate that. You, know
You
what?
read that
He's a
one.
straight shooter. Amanda. Yes, Amanda Spano. Reign has become the romantic version of Game of Thrones. Instead of all the characters dying, all the ships die. And that's true. We saw a lot of relationships just go down.
Was it the Red Wedding? Did we see a red wedding of this yet?
No, I mean,
There was that one episode where everybody hated each other.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, there was that like breakup episode where
Yeah.
it's just like nothing is good.
I feel like Reign is it's a lot less characters to follow. I mean, I love Game of Thrones and I love Reign, but I think
Well, one's actually historically accurate, one's not.
one is a docuseries. And that I'm talking about what happened in Westeros. So, no, I mean, I actually disagree with you, Amanda. I think there are some similarities with the characters, and I think a lot of the times we compare them just because they both are kind of historic period pieces, and so it's easy to kind of relate those two because that's what you just think of. But I think they're very different. I love that there are strong women in both, and yeah, but
Yeah, no, I
don't
mean,
think
they're different, but I see a lot of similarities too. I think that there's so much going on with kind of the dynamics between the people. Like, it's crazy to think that like all this global, like literally the fate of the world as they know it is all dependent on the relationships between a few people, and sort of that is very similar between the two shows.
Yeah.
You know, it's intense. Like
Yeah.
that, like one disagreement can mean death for thousands. Like one relationship, one affair.
No.
I'm good.
All right, so everyone's favorite segment.
Castle
Corner.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a little disappointed, fans. You guys didn't write in with your favorite castles, so I had to pick all of my own. And so I looked up the top 10 castles of the world.
Well, can I just
Nice.
throw something at you right now?
Top 10.
I already did a castle corner on Neuschwanstein Castle, so obviously you weren't there that week because it's not always me that's missing it, you guys. So
but
there's
listen.
a whole castle corner just dedicated to Neuschwanstein.
Well, I picked
Castle.
I picked the top 5 of the top 10. So
Okay.
I included, yes, a past castle. So congratulations for picking a very good castle. Actually, that castle
been
came
there.
in. Let's do this backwards, right?
Number 5.
Nice,
Number 5.
I love the
David
name.
Letterman
I
style.
love the name of this one.
Steven's
I
gonna
love the
stab
name.
me because we have to work backwards. So
Ooh, hashtag thanks, Dave.
we'll do picture number 6 first. I picked this one because it's Prague, right? And I'm Czech, I'm Slovakian. We split up. Luckily, it wasn't evil. And so the Prague Castle is coming in at number 5. It's one of the oldest. It's one of the largest and oldest castles in the world. The construction of the castle began as early as the 19th century, or 9th century, and it is 570 meters long and around 130
Whoa.
meters wide.
Have you been
Pretty
there?
big.
I have.
What's it like? Did you see the oldest part? Can you still see parts of that?
I mean, I forget. I was young. So they, when you get like a tour, they kind of, I forget how they explain it.
Like a school
Right.
field trip?
school field trip type thing. And what I know is I enjoyed it. I haven't been back in a while. I want to go back to Prague in general. I think it's one of the better cities that doesn't get as much. Everyone's like London, Paris, and stuff like that.
Right.
But I think
Prague,
Amsterdam and Prague are really
is
good.
really cool.
I love Amsterdam.
I'm just blown away that it was built started being constructed in the 9th century.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Old.
That is over 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
More than it. Over.
What?
It's old.
Well, yes, more than over. Thank you.
We need
It
a
is
mathematician here.
I'm just throwing that out there, you guys.
So there you go. There's photos, by the way, on the video side of things. If you're listening, feel free to look it up, or we'll maybe tweet some links.
If you've been there, let us
What's
know.
your Twitter?
Oh, my Twitter. You guys can tweet me at Keetin Marchi and Instagram as well.
There you go. And JB?
Yeah, you guys can tweet and Instagram me, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
At JB_Zimmerman.
There we go. No, we're not wrapping up, Steven.
Oh, God.
We were just saying this is where we'll post the pictures. This is where we'll post some of the pictures so that way you guys can see. All right. Conway Castle in Wales, UK. A medieval fortification of on the north coast of Wales, built by Edward I during his conquest of Wales in the 13th century. The huge investment on this 8 towers castle makes it the most expensive of all castles made by Edward I and also the most prominent.
That
Edward.
looks like straight out of Super Mario.
Nice. Yeah. No,
The princess is in another castle. Like that's the Bowser's castle. That's what it is.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, if I were to live in a castle, and I do want to.
That looks like a typical castle.
Like, that's exactly what I want. Like, that's. I would buy it if I had millions.
You know, it's really, really cool. There are some castles that are up for sale that are like in random parts around Europe that like obviously they don't have running water, they don't have electricity. It's very hard to get all that stuff to that are cheaper than like apartments in New York City.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in.
What?
Or and I'm sure
Oh my
apartments
God.
in LA too.
I am.
That you're like cut off from the rest of the
Screw
world.
LA. Let's
Next
go.
year
Buy a castle.
Let's go.
We're doing the podcast from
A castle?
JKP Castle.
Yes, I love it. I want to live in a
Down with
castle.
that.
I'm getting
Down with
married
that.
in a castle. I don't know which one yet, but it will happen.
Conway Castle's looking good.
I have first right of refusal over this husband.
Fine. I will let my royal bros choose.
This I can't. You guys read this.
Hohensalzburg Castle in Austria. It's one of the oldest, most preserved castles of Europe. In German, it means High Salzburg Fortress. It was built in the 11th century and expanded in the 14th century. It is located on a mountain in Salzburg with a length of 250 meters, which is 820 feet, and a width of 150 meters, which is 490 feet for us Americans. It is one of the largest medieval castles in Europe.
Can we pull up the picture? There we go.
the largest. Nice.
So there you have it.
Ooh.
That's kind of a nighttime shot.
Yeah. No, that's
That's
looking
pretty.
good.
That's a good castle right there. Austria's a good country.
Not bad. Yeah. No, you
Austria's
can
great. They
definitely
have good
throw
food,
some
good beer.
You could throw some mistress parties up in there.
Okay.
Just saying. They would come. They would come.
All right, I'm gonna let you take number 2, Keaton, since we've already
I've already
done
done it. JB, you should do. You've never done a castle corner.
Well, this is the number
Do
2. Number
Neuschwanstein,
2
man.
is the one you already did.
I know. Well,
It's
but
German
top
for the
5.
new Swanstone Castle, which we talked about. I do remember this. This castle is in the 19th century palace on a rugged hill in Bavaria, Germany. The palace was commissioned by Ludwig II of Bavaria as a retreat and was opened to playing publicly immediately after his death in 1886. More than 1,300,000 people visit the castle annually.
That's a lot.
Crazy.
Yeah, and this is what Cinderella's castle was based off of.
It's a
Pretty
tall
baller
castle.
Pretty baller.
It's so it's so pretty, and you look at it and you're like, how the hell did they build this? Like where it is, it's just
Slaves.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta get it built.
I mean,
right?
it was super expensive to build. I remember it took very, very many years, and it's so elaborate inside. If you think the outside is cool looking, inside you're like, what? Look up pictures, people. Neuschwanstein Castle.
Yeah, no, I could definitely,
Awesome. It's right
definitely post up in there. Wait, is that the one that you can actually stay in, like a hotel?
I don't think you can stay in that one.
Okay.
There are castles because there's a lot of other castles on the ground surrounding this area that this king built or his family had it or whatever. And I think you can stay in some of those or like hotels.
The guest castle.
Yeah, the
Like,
guest
hey,
castle.
JB, you can't
They're
stay in my
really,
castle,
really cool,
but you can take the
You
guest
take
castle.
the guest castle.
I'll take the guest castle.
It would be really cool if you could stay in this place because it's so crazy and elaborate inside, but it's all like original stuff. So, and it's not as old as you would think it was. Like it was built
19th century.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, looks a lot older than it is. Do you want to do the last one, or do you want me to do it, Phil?
I'll knock this out of the park
it, man.
because it ties things all the way back. Where number 1 comes from France, Mont Saint Michael. a rocky tidal island in Normandy, located approximately 1 kilometer off the coast. The island's highest point is 92 meters above sea level. The population of this UNESCO World Heritage Site is only a few dozens, but visited by more than 3 million people each year. The strong tides in the area change quickly and connect and disconnect the island from the mainland on a daily basis. So there's the castle,
Yeah,
and then we have one kind of look at that. That's it
so
with the sea
cool.
level and all that. So
I want to go
Oh
there.
man! So I assume that photo is low tide.
Low tide, yeah.
Yeah,
And
where
probably,
people
like
can
the
cross.
moat like rises to make it just like an island. Is
I mean, what a cool place.
that is so boss.
imagine
Oh my
like you
God.
got to go grocery shopping. And you're like, oh man, I missed today's.
I miss low tide.
I miss. We've got the moat to deal with. I don't have the boat. Let's. We're staying
Damn
in.
it.
We're staying in.
We're staying.
Or if you go out to get groceries and like something happens and you get stuck outside of your island home for
Got a party on that.
Yeah, it's like I let me send a pigeon to JB. I'm not gonna make the
just
party
I'm not gonna
tonight.
make it.
Oh man.
the bridge is closed.
All right, guys. So we've gone for about 55 minutes. Some of it useful, some of it fun, others of it hopefully educational.
But you loved every minute of it.
Well, we had a blast out. So any last thoughts before we wrap up here on season 2 of Reign?
Man, yeah, I guess I love where we came to know Narcisse, and I hope that he stays sort of on this good grace thing. He's a tendency to let his ambitions kind of run things and his morality. I really hope that we don't see that, because after going back and forth, I'm happy that Narcisse is on the team, and it seems right now that he's doing things for the greater good, I guess.
Okay. Good to know. Keetin?
I really loved this last episode. I thought it was a great finale. This season has been up and down for me, but I think it ended on a great note. It gave me a lot of answers I wanted. It now has set up a lot of new stories I'm super excited for to come in for next season. And I love Reign, and I love that there's so many of you out there who love the show too, and take the time to tune into us and comment, and you guys are the best. So thanks again, and can't wait for next season. So I hope you stick with us.
There you go. Thank you guys for joining us. We really do love doing this for you guys, honestly, from the bottom of all of our hearts. And we do. I know you guys take it very much personally, and you guys should when we're not here. So as much as the show goes up and down, sometimes we go up and down with it. But we take it personally just as much as you guys, which is why ultimately we wanted to do this as a tribute to you guys for tuning week in, week out. We put an effort into the show, but you guys put an effort into listening each and every week, and that should and is by no means discredited. In fact, it is praised.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Thank you guys
Thank
for being
you.
the coolest fans ever. Like,
Yeah.
keep it up. Like, I love you guys.
I still
Straight
read
up.
my castle book, and I still wear my Reign shirt.
Yeah.
Even when I'm not here, I wear it. I wish somebody would comment on it though. Like I want a fellow fan to come up to me when I'm wearing it and be like, Reign, I love that show. So.
Well, never mind. I won't go where I go.
Oh Lord, I would love to run into like one of the cast members who lives in LA, like while they're off right now with my Reign shirt on. I'd feel real cool.
No, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. All right. JB_Zimmerman.
Yes. Team Row Bros.
Team Royal Bros. Keetin.
At Keetin Marchi.
There you
That's
go.
where you can follow me.
At AfterBuzz TV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. This is it, guys. There's nothing else to say.
Have a great summer. Tags.
Until season 3.
Until season
We'll
3.
be back.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.